Hello, everyone. Happy Black Music Month and happy Pride Month. Freaking net. Sorry about that. I don't think I killed him, but hopefully he will go away soon. But like I said, it is Black Music Month and Pride Month. So, I think I talked about this last week. I did say rest in peace to Tina Turner. I'm gonna talk about the documentary Tina today, and I'm gonna give, of course, some biographical information about Tina. So this is gonna be kind of a tangent, but I'm trying to switch it up. I guess I could do like biographies again, like if I do documentaries or something for the next videos this month. But I'm trying to switch up my videos and change it up some for like the midweek videos. You know what I mean? But yeah, so let's get into it. So, Tina's a documentary. It follows the life and career of musician Tina Turner, and the film marked her final appearance before her death on May 24th, 2023, this year, last week. It was released March 27th, 2001. It was directed by Dan Lindsay and T.J. Martin. So I'm going to give a little biography about her. She was born Anne Mae Bullock on November 26, 1939. She just passed away. She was an American-born Swiss singer known as the Queen of Rock and Roll. She rose to prominence as the leader of the Ike and Tina Revue before launching a successful solo career. She was noted for her swagger, sensuality, powerful, gravelly vocals, and unstoppable energy. They don't even say who quoted that, but it's a quote. Along with her well-publicized history with her ex-husband, Ike Turner, and famous legs, which I think it's Mariah Carey insured her own legs, which is really interesting. But yeah, Tina Turner, she was a fine woman. So everybody loved her legs. So she began her career at Ike Turner's band, Kings of Rhythm, in 1957, under the name Little Ann, which is what Ike called her Ann her whole life, even though he gave her this name, Tina Turner. She appeared on her first record, Box Top, in 1958, and in 1960 she debuted as Tina Turner with the hit single Fool in Love. The duo Ike and Tina Turner became one of the most formidable live acts in history, another quote. They released such hits as It's Gonna Work Out Fine, River Deep Mountain High, Proud Mary, and Nutbush City Limits before disbanding in 1976. Which is, I think, around the time that she left him. In the 1980s, Tina launched one of the greatest comebacks in musical history. Although she did describe, like in the documentary, like she hadn't even gotten started really, so it wasn't really a comeback in her opinion. It was like her getting her own solo start. So I just want to talk about that. Her 1984 multi-platinum album Private Dancer contained the hit song What's Love Got to Do It, which won a Grammy for Record of the Year and became the first and only number one song. Her first and only number one hit song on the Billboard Hot 100. So yeah, and at age 44, she was the oldest female solo artist on the top of the Hot 100. Her chart success continued with Better Be Good to Me, Private Dancer, We Don't Need Another Hero, Thunderdome, Typical Male, The Best, I Don't Want to Fight, and Golden Eye. During her Break Every Rule tour in 1988, she set a then Guinness World Record for the largest paying audience for a solo performer, which was 180,000 people. Crazy. But that was her dream. Like throughout the documentary, she talked about wanting to sell out the stadiums just like the Rolling Stones, and and it showed a lot of her concert performances, which were great. And she also acted in movies like Tommy from 1975, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome in 1985. And in 1986, she released her first autobiography, I, Tina, My Story, which was adapted for the 1993 film What's Love Got to Do with It, which I ranted about in a video. But that starred Angela Bassett, Lawrence Fishburne as Ike and Tina. I hope that's his name. Now I feel like I need to look it up to make sure. Because I ain't trying to tell you out the wrong information. But I'm pretty sure. I can find my internet. Here we go. I got stuff in here, y'all. Okay, it doesn't say when I look here. Hold on. Yeah, it is Lawrence Fishburne. Okay. I feel like this was Angela Bassett's like big breakthrough role. I feel like they talked about that in the documentary and like how grateful Angela Bassett was, and they didn't show any behind the scenes of the movie, but I know that Tina did work behind the scenes to help Angela Bassett, embody her. And I feel like from the clips I have seen, because I have not seen the whole thing, like I said in my other video, don't take my black card, you know what I mean? But I feel like she really embodied Tina Turner and, really got her essence down. I know Tina does not really like the movie. There were some exaggerations, like I said in my other video. And when there was the press for the movie, they showed it in the documentary, she didn't really want to relive, the abuse because she already lived with the abuse, as it was. And, seeing it being recreated on screen, she was not really thrilled to watch it again or to watch it, even though some things they did, of course, create or fabricate. So some stuff didn't happen, but still, it's supposed to be about her. So, where was I at? Okay, so she did retire in 2009 after completing her final Tina 50th anniversary tour, which is the 15th highest grossing tour of the 2000s. And in 2018, she became the subject of Tina, a jukebox musical, which they show the opening night of her going to the musical. And then at the end, she comes out and everybody gives her, standing ovation. I think it was a standing ovation. It should have been a standing ovation. If it wasn't, if I'm wrong, it is what it is. But yeah, she had showed up for that, so that was good. Okay, where was I? Oh, she sold more than 200 million records worldwide, becoming one of the best-selling recording artists of all time. She received 12 Grammys, which included 8 competitive awards, a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award, and 3 Grammy Hall of Fame inductions. She was the first black artist and first woman to be on the cover of Rolling Stone. Rolling Stone ranked her among the 100 greatest artists of all time and 100 greatest singers of all time. She has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame and on the St. Louis Walk of Fame. So she got 2 stars. She was inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice, in 1991 with her ex-husband Ike Turner, and as a solo artist in 2021. She was also the 2005 recipient of the Kennedy Center Awards, Kennedy Center Honors, and Women of the Year Award. So she had a lot going on. And I'm glad that she was able to have a solo induction and while she was alive, so that she can talk to people and tell them what it meant. And I want to say it was in the documentary, her speech for that. And it was really nice. And they actually gave her, a little award for her introduction to Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I also saw it on Twitter. So I feel like it's pretty readily available. You can look at it. But it was nice that she got it while she was alive, So I'm going to talk about the documentary. I'm going to talk about my pros and my cons. I will say it is a long one, but I don't think that's a bad thing for once. Usually I'm like, it's long. But for this, I feel like, she had a lot going on in her life. So it was going to take at least an hour. It was almost 2 hours. So, but I feel like it made sense. A lot went on in her life. So the pros are going to be, number one, Tina. The fact that she was actually in the documentary. And I love that the Queen of Rock and Roll was telling her own story. She was able to And of course, some of it was bad, of course. But she was able to tell it in her own words and on her own terms. Uh, and she was very honest in that front. It was very inspiring and sad to see, come from her own words. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, she really felt like Ike and his abuse kept following her, but eventually she took her power back. She made a name for herself and didn't let the past take her down. And I wish people had saw that instead of just I can't speak sensationalizing what happened to her. There we go, sensationalizing. I wish, like, people, and then it was really sad. Oh my gosh, looking at some of the interview clips, and she's on her solo journey. She was doing her own thing, and they just kept asking about Ike. I'm going to talk about this in my overall opinion, but I might talk about it now. Basically, she came out with the story to People magazine, and I think I know that at least the second time when she wrote her book, wrote her whole life story, at least when she wrote her book, like years later, she thought that was going to be the end. Nobody was going to ask about it ever again. She was going to be able to forget it. However, it was really sad to see, like, she's doing her own thing, and they just keep asking about that lame ass nigga. Okay, don't nobody care about that man. All right, stop asking me. We done broke up. We not together no more. And I understand that's like a huge part of her legacy, but it was like, I was frustrated for her. I was like, dang, they just keep on asking. Like, they don't got nothing else to ask you. Like, you have so much going on. So yeah, that would frustrate me too and make me upset. And like, eventually she was like, you know what? I'm not talking about that. I'm moving on. This is what I'm doing with my life. We're gonna talk about that. I really like that. She was like, yeah, I'm gonna stop that right there. Another pro was the concert footage. I love seeing all of her different concerts throughout the years, especially when she went solo. You can see her transformation from being with Ike to when she first went solo, to when she got her big solo break. Like, you can see, like, her style change, the costume, the music, like everything. Like, in between her like big solo break and when she left Ike, to like in the middle there, she was doing like cabaret stuff. She was, in Vegas because she had 4 kids. She got to take care of. And just seeing like what she would do as she changed her hair, because she said the long hair was like when she was with Ike, so she cut up her hair, made it more rock and roll. Excuse me, made it more rock and roll, and like just changed up everything. So that was good for her. And she was such a great live performer. Her mic was always on, LOL. And she was always so energetic. Like, she was just phenomenal. I wish, even though I felt like in 2009, was I like a child? Yeah, I would have been in high school. So, I mean, I'm like, in hindsight, I'm like, I wish I had went, but like, I was like 14. No. I would have been like almost graduating, because I graduated in 2010, so I'd have been like 17. I don't know. I guess I probably wasn't even thinking about that. Like, and I don't think I didn't go to a concert until I was in college, so. But in hindsight, maybe if I could have like looked at the future and been like, oh, she's never touring again, let me go ahead and beg my parents to let me go or something. But unfortunately, it is what it is. But yeah, she was a great live performer. Really wish I could have like seen her live. And the other pro is friends and loved ones. I love seeing her friends and her husband talk about her. It was nice seeing that she had people on her side that had the best interest at heart, and it seemed like she was able to build a team around her that really wanted her to succeed. So that was nice to see. It was nice to see that, like, and also, I mean, granted, she needed money, so she couldn't just give up. But it was nice to see that, after leaving Ike and the group, that it was that she was still able to like be determined and do things and do what she had to do. So that was really inspiring. The only con I had was they didn't really talk about her relationship with her children. they did show some clips of her children talking about her, and I think she did have strained relationships with some of her sons, so that might have been why they didn't appear, unfortunately. But I don't think it hurt the documentary overall, but it would have been nice to see like more of them. And she did talk about when they became adults and they worked together, and some of the kids worked with her ex-husband, which, I mean, I feel like it's kind of hard as a parent, like, because they are the other parent to your children, so it's not like you can stop them from seeing the other one, you know what I mean? No matter like what you guys went through. Because, he adopted her son, she had a son with him, and then she adopted his sons. So it's like, lives are going to be intertwined, you know what I mean? But my overall opinion about the movie, the documentary was wonderful. Even though it was long, I took 2 days to watch it. You could take multiple days. You could take however long you want. It's on Max now. It's not HBO Max, it's Max. Whatever. But yeah, just take your time. I feel like it's really worth it. I love that this is a way of Tina to really get her life story out there, and the way that she wanted, and it highlighted how unfortunate her abusive marriage with Ike was, like a constant thing brought up, even in her solo success. And I feel sad that she wanted, I talked about this before, she wanted to get it out when she wrote her book and just never talk about it again, but it's constantly being talked about either with her or around her. And I talked about in my other video, my other rant, people using it to mock her as skits, as all these things. It's just crazy to me. And I think this documentary really showcased her great talent, her wit, and her determination. Especially like when her solo career, she's like considered over the hill. Even though she was really in shape, really well trained. She could dance real hard, sing. Mike was always on, and she was in her 40s, okay? And she was doing great. So, but how it is with the industry. They want younger, but they think younger is better. You're doing this, you're doing that, you're washed up. Oh, so they had changed. So she had finally gotten a label, because at first nobody really wanted her. Somebody called her the hard ER in that meeting where they were trying to kick her out. But I guess he's like a talent, I forgot what he was, like a talent manager or something, at the label was like, no, this is my act, I need Tina. He was like, you're giving that washed up hard ER. And I was like, not you being racist, hold up. But luckily, I feel like, is it luckily or is it unluckily? I feel like back then, unlike now, it's not really like a push for more independent labels, as because back then you had to have a label. You got to get somebody to help you and finance you and do all that stuff. So it might not, that's too dope. So that might not have, so yeah, I don't think there was really like a lot of independent records or ways for you to really do it on your own. So it's like, luckily, I guess you still need a label, but I was like, ugh, that's terrible. But hey, people still racist, so nothing's really changed. But that was just crazy to me. And I love seeing the clips of her and her husband, and I also thought it was funny that they kept them in separate rooms, but I think they were in the same place. And she yelled to him to tell like the people, how long have we been together before we got married? And they were together for almost 30 years before they got married. It was 27 years. And I feel like she had a very strong love. And then I calculated, so they had been married for 10 years and been together for 37. That is a long time, before she passed. Well, would it be, I guess it would be 11, but I don't remember the anniversary date. It was July. So I guess it would have been 10 because she just passed away. But yeah, that was really good. I really liked that she had that love, and in her later years. Yeah, and I give this documentary a 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. I loved it. Um, the first couple parts are about her and Ike mostly. And I felt sad that it was just like, uh, yeah, and I like that Tina was in it. That's why I gave it a 10 mostly. And it was just really great, honestly, having her tell her story and without any dramatizations. But let me get back to what I was saying. I feel like it was really sad that like people could not just let go of, and it's not, and it's like people were sensationalizing her abuse and just constantly bringing it up. And I just feel so bad for her. I talked about my other video about Megan Thee Stallion. So I feel like, unfortunately, even though her person who attacked Megan Thee Stallion got persecuted, it's still gonna be like a thing. I feel really bad for like, Megan Thee Stallion too, because uh, it's like you get victimized and you just. That's another thing that I really did not like for Tina. It's like King. Not only did she get victimized in her relationship, it's like it just kept happening over and over. They keep asking about the nigga. I don't want to talk about him. She real nice, because I would have been like, listen here, I know back then you can't say that stuff like that, but yeah, I would have been like, listen here, we ain't gonna talk about this man no more. But she did say that eventually. So that was good for her. She did say she forgave him, but I can't remember if I read this in Wikipedia or if she actually said this in the documentary too, that she would not work with him again. Which I feel like is fair. You can forgive, but you can't. Oh, I think she said something about you can forgive Ike, but you can't let him back in, basically. Which I feel like is fair. I feel like a lot of people probably feel that way about once they leave someone who's abusive. That yeah, I forgive you, but we don't gotta reconnect or get back together. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot more people are doing that now. But yeah. So I wrote a poem. I wrote an acrostic poem. It's called T.I.N.A. Here it goes. Talented and vivacious, intelligent and resourceful, never-ending charisma and charm, a legend and the ultimate queen. Because she is the queen of rock and roll. This makes me want to go and listen to every single one of her albums, which I would like to explore more. And I realized when I was watching the documentary, I do know some of her solo songs, but I felt like I unfortunately knew more of like her with her songs with Ike. So I would like to explore more of that. And I highly recommend this documentary. It was really good. It was nice seeing her, nice seeing her husband, seeing the people around her that had her best interest at heart, and people who, were there for her throughout everything. It was really nice to see. So yeah, highly recommend it. Will you watch it? Have you watched it? Let me know what you thought about it. If you want to just talk about Tina Turner, you can. So yeah, so I will see you all next week.